Greetings, fellow crafters. 'Tis I, your Hello Queen. Welcome back to my court. Welcome if you're new. I have a kit up to do. I'm going to go ahead and kit up Diamond Art Club's Deep Sea Beauties by Simona Candini. Stick around and we'll get started. Alrighty, so get yourself a drink, get yourself a work in progress to work on, and we're going to get this kit out. Now, I have this kit, which I have not actually used yet. I got it specifically for Diamond Art Club because these huge bags don't fit in a single bottle in the regular set. But from my experiments, they do fit in these ones. Also, Diamond Art Club has gone to pre-cut stickers. So I'm going to label up these bottles. There's 41 colors in this with 2 ABs. Some of the colors have multiple bags, in which case I will just open one at a time. The other ones will be opened as needed. Got lots of beautiful violets and mauves and teals in this, with pops of other colors. There's a red there, 321. I will say this is much easier than having to cut this up. And luckily these are still small enough that they fit neatly and easily on the tops of these bottles. I got this case from AliExpress. I will put up in the card the video where this case came from, which is links to where I picked it up, although you can find it on AliExpress. It comes with silver or gold lids. I picked the gold because they're so dark they look orange, and orange is kind of my jam. So, but this canvas I picked up to be part of the Mermaid Along that Cal's Crafts is doing. I've only recently started watching Cal's lives and videos, and so far I'm enjoying myself. So she's got a 6-month long mermaid along, which can be mermaid anything. Cross stitch, crochet, whatever you want to do that's mermaid. I chose to do a diamond painting, which I think probably most people are doing, but you don't have to. You can do any craft that has mermaids with it. She's been very, very open with what's been required. So I don't think I'm going to start this right away. I think I'm probably going to wait till I finish one of my other ones, but seeing as I just got it, I don't really see a point in putting it away without kitting it up. Putting it away and then kitting it up in like less than a week when I finish another project. So I'm going to kit it up and set it aside, and then when it's time to start work on it, I will just slot it into my works in progress and get started. And the last one. Now, all of these are segmented, which you probably can't see, so that you could peel them off too. Because they're shiny, I don't know how well they'd work as additional labels, but they might. They might be a pain to write on, is about the only thing. Okay, so 775, I've got 3 bags. I'm going to take this little work bag and slot these guys in here. I may have to upgrade that to a bigger bag because that seems really small to me, and I've got several colors that have multiple. Normally with the smaller ones that I have in my orange kit and the other kits, I would have to split this into 2 bags. It doesn't quite fill 2 bags, but it's close. So 775 is here. So let's see how this works in these larger bottles. Did I say bags? I think I probably misspoke. Yeah, so last Tuesday, or last Monday, I ran out of my sleeping meds. Oh, look at that. Plenty of room. Since that's the case, what I may do is I may take the extra bags and stick them in these guys, and then I can just swap the lids over. Label them up with other labels, and then swap the lids over. I run out. I may do that. We'll see. We will see. One second. Sorry, my mother has been messaging me. She seemed rather insistent upon it. I just realized why. She thought I had she knows I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow that's important, and she's going to offer to take me to it, but it's a phone appointment, so I don't need to be taken anywhere. I don't drive, so she tends to be my wheels when my husband's at work. But it's a phone appointment, so I don't need to be taken anywhere. But as I said, I ran out of my sleeping meds. I have to see my doctor before he will prescribe me more. So that's going to take 4 more bottles. That's 5 bags. Not 6 bags of 38, 11. There's another bag here. Maybe I won't do that. Maybe I'll just leave them. It is nice that they're all going into one, though. Because that was one thing that was kind of annoying with Diamond Art Club, is I'd have to make sure that I had extra bottles or extra bags. Because once you open these, you can't reclose them. And they didn't fit all into one container. So it's like, eh. And this little bag's not going to work. Okay, let me just stick them in the mesh pouch for now. And I'll hunt down another work bag. 3609. So yeah, that was last Tuesday. Today's Monday, so it's been about a week since I've had my sleeping meds, and oh, last week has not been fun. If I can fall asleep at all, which is an if, I've been maybe getting 1 or 2 nights of sleep. Last night I actually slept reasonably well. I think it still took me a while to fall asleep, but I actually slept for a reasonable period of time. But as a result, I'm feeling kind of weird, and I'm not sure if I need more sleep or if I need to eat more. I have about double what I do normally for lunch, and I'm starting to feel a little better, so I think maybe that was the issue. 210. All right. Just watching a video on the dollar princesses. Dollar princess was a phenomenon that happened around the turn of the 20th century. The last couple decades and the first couple decades of the last couple decades of the 19th and the first couple of decades of the 20th century. A lot of largely British, but not limited to British, aristocracy had wonderful, snazzy titles, but no money. So it became almost fashionable for daughters of wealthy Americans to marry these impoverished aristocrats with their fancy titles in order to get the fancy title. And a lot of them had castles and manor homes that were rotting away and needed serious work, but these new titled elites had no money. So quite frequently they would end up marrying a rich American heiress. I don't think it was exclusively American, but there was an awful lot of families that jumped up in status after this, in that period. I was going to say after the Second World War, but that's before the World Wars. That's through the late Victorian and Edwardian period. And they got nicknamed the Dollar Princesses. So, which isn't all that flattering when you think about it. One of them got named as the highest rank that an American woman has ever held in British court, and I think that has now been superseded by Meghan Markle, even though she's not a senior royal, an operating senior royal at the moment. And by the sounds of what I've heard of the Oprah interview, which I have not actually watched yet, doesn't sound like she's going to be anytime soon. I am not that surprised that a hidebound institution like the monarchy still has some vestiges of racism. And I was a little bit on the skeptical side when Archie ended up with no title at all. And they said it was because they wanted him to lead a normal life, and I kind of bought that, but it makes a lot more sense now. 898. Because I got that he wasn't going to be named Prince, but I still thought that was a little suspicious. But apparently now I found out that it's due to good old-fashioned racism. Yay! As much as I love the monarchy, as much as I am a royal apologist, I can't say I'm surprised. The Queen is in her 90s. Even casual racism even the casual racism from her childhood would be appalling in today's world. And I don't really see that changing all that much with Charles hitting the throne. Possibly William. William's a millennial in an ancient institution. $600. But like I said, I haven't watched that interview, so I don't know how much of that was from which royals did what. 758. Perhaps I was a little too excited that there was going to be a little more color in the royal family. Because it really wasn't all that long ago that the royals weren't even, that senior royals weren't allowed to marry outside of royalty, let alone aristocracy, let alone cross-culturally or cross-racially. So three. I shouldn't be surprised. Now let's be clear. I was watching something about the Dollar Princess. Nobody is saying that Meghan Markle is a dollar princess. That's not a thing. There may have been impoverished British aristocracy, but Prince Henry of Windsor, of House Windsor, is not an impoverished junior royal or an impoverished aristocrat who needs his wife's money. That's not anything anywhere near what I was trying to imply. It was just the idea that that other person was the highest ranking American, and that has now been changed. Meghan now is. And technically, even if you don't count Meghan because she's princess consort, Archie is an American by virtue of being married, by virtue of being born to an American citizen. So he'd be the highest ranking American citizen. And his new little sister, when she gets here, she'll be right there, up there with him. But I love history. I love the rope. I love royals. And I don't see this changing that. I love the royals. I think it's a very interesting thing to see how it evolves into this hyper-modern age. I will still watch The Crown. But it's sad to see some things repeat. I mean, Princess Diana's mental health struggles are well documented. And here we are again, 30 years later, doing the same thing with Meghan Markle. Now, fortunately, Meghan Markle is unlikely to have to lead the royal family at any point. Whereas the stresses on Charles and Diana were astronomical because he was the heir. Harry and Meghan had the option to just up and leave. Although the whole abdication of Edward VIII could say that anyone has the option up and leave, since he did it. Eight. Seven, 3, 9. There we are. The only thing I don't like about these bottles is with the opaque lids, you can't see all the pretty drills inside. Green, sort of minty green. And we've got some escapees. Okay. 4, 3, 5. $126. Number 1. Such a pretty mauve. I think I said this was 211 in the DMC chart. There is a conversion list out there if you're trying to get the DMC codes for your DAC drills. I've done 437. It's right there. And 915. So while I'm kitting up, I leave everything in DMC order, and I'm dumping drills everywhere. Fantastic. once I'm done, I will reorganize these into a more logical order that makes sense to my brain. Because when I'm working on it, I don't pay attention to the numbers. I prefer to work from the symbols. Seven, 5, 4. 7, 5, 4. Lovely peaches. Millions of peaches. Peaches for free. And I just dumped those on my hand too. And once again, my kids are like bouncing. I let Caitlin convince me to let her stay home, and the more I listen to her bounce around and jump around, the more I'm annoyed that I let her convince me to. My head's spinning, Mommy. I don't want to go to school. Kids. Nine, 9, 2. Oh. No, stomach's still not happy. I don't know what I did to make my body mad at me. Three, 7, 5, 6. This color always reminds me of ice. It's white with just the slightest blue or green. I can't even tell if it's blue or green, but always makes me cold looking at it. I have made a giant mess. Got drills everywhere. Nine, 6, 3. That is such a pretty pink. 9, 6, 3. Three, 8, 1, 4. Lots of lovely teals and purples in this painting. I love the colors. No, that's the wrong color. That even looks a little too dark for that, but I'll leave it there for now. 7, 3, 8. Ooh, there's like 2 bags of it. That looks like a sand color. 738. Oh, there's another drill there. Is A. Yeah, it's all in the sand down here. And I just dumped that all over the place. I'm on a roll. Here we go. Let's get that put away. $9.51. $9.51. Another peachy color. 51. This dot. Yes, there's some in here.
Greetings, photographers. Welcome to my court. Welcome back to you.
And that video is done.
I have a
Rendering. Yay. Yay for multitasking. It's 3608. There's 2 bags of it. Pretty pink. 608. $4.36. How many of these would I have had to split it open if I would split apart if I had been using the other system? And this, ladies and gentlemen, is why we end up with 30% extra drills when we're doing kit apps, is because small things in large quantities take on liquid properties, and they just go everywhere. That one had escaped. Seven, 1, 8. 7, 8. Almost a fuchsia. Don't see that too often. 897, another pretty teal. I'll decide once I've got this done how many extra bags I have, whether or not I'm pouring them into extra containers. Because I'll have 19 containers left over. I don't think I have that many extra bags. Although, here's 4 right here. 209. I should have only 2 colors left. 209 and 598. Stick those in there. 209. And I got some overboard. My hands are a little shaky. That's what I'm going to blame it on. Not ridiculously so, but they're a little shaky. Five, 9, 8. Okay, so let's take a look at my extra bags first. There's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I do have enough bottles to do it. So I think I will do it. I think that'll be cleaner than having a bunch of extra bottles around. I might even be able to cut this down into because these weren't full. Still a fair bit of room in there. $38.11. In the case of this where I have like 6 bags, I might actually be able to cut down to 5 bottles. Oh, I want that out because I want to see if I can get them down into 5 bottles. Maybe. Make sure I'm getting them all in. Here we go. Why am I trying to force them all into smaller amounts of bottles? I don't know. Because I like to punish myself. Didn't quite manage it. So that's probably not a terribly good use of my time trying to condense it down. But it was an interesting experiment. Three, 11. Okay, so we have 598, 209, 738, which is 3608. Three, 608. What's the next highest number I have? 775. Since these are all interchangeable lids, once I run out of the main bottle, I can just screw the lid onto the next bottle and go from there. Seven, 7, 5, 7, 7, 5. 775. 738 is the next color down. This sand color. And that's it. Static and overboard. Okay. I'm actually going to step up for a second because I have a potential static here, which I haven't used yet. I bought these Downy Calm specifically for staticky drills. I don't actually use fabric softener in the house unless I'm putting stuff out in the line, which it is definitely the wrong time of year to be putting clothes outside for us. Yes, I know some hardcore people do it all year round. I am not one of those. Wow, holy plastic. But it's these little nuggets of fabric softener. So I'm still going to have to try and wrestle these last few out of this package. Once they go in there and interact with the nugget of fabric softener in there, they should calm down. So that was 738. And that was 738. Yes. And 598. And one more for 209. Some people prefer to put these in baggies, which, I mean, can work, but I prefer not to. I like putting them in containers because these are infinitely reusable. Oh boy. I don't even know what all the kids are listening to. I recognize a couple of the songs, but they're mostly parodies performed by Five Nights at Freddy's characters. 8. And then 209. But yes, I did buy fabric softener specifically for use with drills. as silly as that may be. Now, Emily had such bad eczema when she was an infant that we very quickly did everything we could to try and limit her skin exposure to anything, which meant one of the things we did was cut fabric softener out, and we discovered that we didn't really miss it, so we've never gone back. She hasn't had an episode of eczema in years, but it's just like one of those things like, well, we don't really use it anymore, so the only time I use it is I have some liquid stuff that I use when I'm putting stuff out in the line, because otherwise everything dries crunchy. But if they're going in the dryer, I don't bother. Okay, so don't think I can do anything to the canvas at this time. You don't have to do a whole lot with DAC canvases. Ah, snaps on. Okay. But here we have it. We've got all of the stickers from the DAC canvas, plus I've got all of these extra stickers. So we've got a bunch of extra colors in there. So if I run out of any of these colors here, I will first look back here to see if I have them, and they're in DMC order. And if I don't have them there, then I'm going to have to look into my spares. But DAC is really good about giving you way more than you need, so I should only be running out of the stuff in these for these colors because I have so much extra. And I would not be surprised if like one of these bottles of 3811 ends up being extra. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. If I excuse me. I think I'm going to edit that out. So that's all I have today for you. I'm going to set this aside. I'll probably start it after I finish the next project, but it'll be all kitted up and ready to go. I just didn't see my way clear to putting it away. And then just getting it right back out again and kitting it up. Because I am going to be doing this one relatively soon. So thank you for joining me. Like this video if you enjoyed it, share it with your friends, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next one. Keep it spooky, guys. Bye.